Anthony Towns on the move out of Minnesota. Developing story here on SportsCenter. The New York Knicks and Minnesota are finalizing a trade involving Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, along with the first-round draft pick for Karl Anthony Towns. First reported by The Athletic and confirmed by ESPN. A third team, the Charlotte Hornets, also is a part of the trade to absorb additional salary. And take a look at this tweet right here that Karl Anthony sent out just about an hour ago after seeing the trade, and I'm curious to see what the story behind that ellipsis will be. For more on the breaking news, let's welcome in our NBA analyst, Monica McNutt. Monica, the Knicks have already been so busy during the offseason. Now you get this blockbuster trade, Karl Anthony Towns going to New York. Your initial reaction to this news?
Well, okay. All right. This is happening. Listen, this Knicks front office has been very diligent about capitalizing on the moment. And obviously, the issues at center in particular going into this season were at the forefront and the top line item to be addressed. This, in fact, does do that. I think both teams are actually getting a piece that they believe will help move them forward. And so, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. The Julius Randle, Karl Anthony Towns piece of it all had been rumored for a while in the city. I think the Dante DiVincenzo thing is the part that's taking some fans a little bit more by surprise.
And then let's take a look at the flip side of this. What are the Timberwolves getting in Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle being out there in Minnesota?
Well, obviously, DiVincenzo had a terrific year last year in terms of shooting the basketball, setting a new record in a New York Knicks uniform. But when you talk about Julius Randle, over the last 5 years, he's practically been a 20-10 guy for the New York Knicks. He obviously is able to operate at that nail in that high post. He can step back and shoot the three. There's a little bit more physicality to Randle's brand of basketball compared to Karl Anthony Towns. And so I think when I look at what the Timberwolves have going on, the grit that Julius Randle plays with, I think, aligns with what they probably need to take their next step. I am curious, though, similarly as the concerns were about Cat and Rudy Gobert, I am curious about the spacing in Minnesota.
And when you take a look at the Knicks, they've been desperately looking for a big man, desperately looking for a center. How does Karl Anthony Towns kind of fill that gap for New York?
This one's going to be interesting. I mean, he's a guy, obviously, that rebounds the ball well. In the postseason, I believe he was like a 19-9 sort of guy, and that's going to be important. They need a rim protector. They need someone to man the paint and anchor Tom Thibodeau's defense. But I think his willingness to pick and pop with Jalen Brunson is going to be something I'm really curious to see how it plays out. Will it be something that is emboldened here in New York? Or will he be asked to spend a little bit more time operating in the paint? And so I like the height and the size that this New York Knicks front line now has. When you think about the Eastern Conference, the Joel Embiid's, the Giannis Antetokounmpos, when healthy, the Kristaps Porzingis. So the size that the Knicks now put out in their first five is something that really catches your eye, and the versatility of their defenders.
The Knicks trying to compete with that Celtics team that's defending that NBA title. Monica McNutt with the latest. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, Monica.
No problem.